Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. In the last part we did some side stuff, and found out that Alakazam is not only trapped in Groudon's lair, but we actually have to go there ourselves, along with a couple of other rescue teams, and rescue them ourselves. Now, I just showed you my inventory. You're gonna want to have a lot of Max Elixirs, apples, and Reviver Seeds for coming up here. You don't need gummies, though I have some in my inventory for some reason. Talk to Pat, and then the sequence of events begins. I'm in that dream again. Gardevoir. It's tomorrow, isn't it? That you take to that underground dungeon. Yeah. They make it sound like one heck of a place. Wonder if we'll be okay. You'll be fine. I'm certain you'll succeed, Kyle. You have my support. Please, go with strength. I will. Thanks. Feeling a little braver now. I'll just go for it! By the way, Gardevoir, do you know what it's like underground? Or what Groudon is like? No, I'm sorry to say, that portrait looks so sad. I can't envision it. Okay. I thought maybe you knew something the way you said it. No, I only wanted to give you encouragement. I'm sorry. No, that's fine too. I'm happy you tried to cheer me up. Thank you. But, there's one thing I can foresee. Huh? Your role is coming to its end, little by little. My role is ending? You became Pokemon in order to fulfill a certain role, and that role brought you here. Now that role is finally drawing to its conclusion. Gardevoir, tell me! What is my role? Why did I become a Pokemon? When the time comes, I think I can tell you when this adventure is finished. Au revoir. They always have to speak French, don't they? Alrighty then. Hi, Pat. Good morning, Kyle. You sleep well? Okay, this is it. Let's do our best and save Alakazam's team. Gardevoir said she'll tell me everything when this adventure's over. Is going underground the adventure she meant? Will she tell me if we rescue Alakazam's team? Hello? Are you sleeping still? Let's get going. Oh, right. Sorry. Now, one thing I forgot is that you can actually level grind and do some other missions if you want to, but I decided, screw it, I'll just go to Magma Dungeon, which is way over here. Now, I love the theme here. This must be it. Groudon is in this underground cavern. Phew, look at the streams of lava. Oh, you'll be fine, you're a water type. It's going to be scorching hot in this dungeon, I think. There should be other rescue teams making their way through here now. Let's try our best like always. Right, and welcome to Magma Cavern. This place is going to be a trek. 26 floors with the peak area beginning at floor 24. Pokemon you can find in this place are Raticate on floors 1 through 3, Sandshrew, Nidoking, and Nidoqueen on floors 1 through 6, Graveler on 5 through 10, Magmar on floors 7 through 11, Mawile on floors 8 through 12, Arbok on floors 8 through 14, Magcargo on 9 through 14, Rhydons on 4 through 20, or 14 through 20 rather, Sandslash and Golems on 15 through 20, Grimers, which I hate in this game, on 15 through 21, Onix on 21 through 24, watch out for them, especially if you have a fire type, Steelix on floor 24, and then the boss, who, as is probably easily guessable by now, is Groudon on floor 26. This place is going to be a trek. Now, in terms of dangers in this dungeon, you got Steelix, which is a pain just because of its high defense, and it also has a habit of raising its special attack while it uses Harden to increase its said defense. But if you have a fire type, it should go down no problem. Mawile is a bit weird, honestly. its attacks take some getting used to, because it attacks and moves quickly, so you may just want to tiptoe around it, especially if it's asleep. Mag Cargo is susceptible to water-type attacks, which in most cases would make it easy. But if you don't have any, try using ground-type attacks like Earthquake, but be wary of it using Yawn, because sleeping is something that you don't want to do in this place. It gets to be a pain. And a water type is pretty much a must-have in this area, by the way. And try to save, unlike me, by the way, I love how I catch all those gravel rocks, try to save as many special moves as you can for later on, because you're going to need them. Now, since I don't have anything else to really talk about for the rest of the dungeon, other than the fact that there's lava here which you can throw items you don't want into, and if you're a fire type you can walk on, I might as well go over some of the post-game stuff now. Because I'm not showing off post-game. Ooh, level up, actually. And we learned a new move. Let's see what we got. Ooh, Scary Face. That slows Pokemon down. You're going to want that instead of Growl, actually. I don't use status-lowering moves much, but this is one I do use every now and then. And other than that, HP up by 2, attack by 2, defense by 2, special attack by 2, and special defense by 1. Not bad at all. That was actually quite fantastic. But in terms of some of the post-game stuff, I'm not going to go over everything in this, but... Oh wow, I forgot about that little tree thing. Pretty much, in terms of what's new in the post-game, not going over everything in this. I'm going over, like, the other, like, missions and stuff that you can do in the next dungeon, because the next dungeon's even longer than this place. But in terms of what's new, you got new rescue difficulty levels, because in the main story you only have around A through E, I believe. And after story mode's completed, you get S and star ranks, which are exceptionally difficult. And you have access to more dungeons, obviously, but some have locked doors that can be only open with keys. They can be keys can be found as random items in either the Solar Cave or floors 9 through 20 of the desert region. And altogether, there are 12 locked doors in the game, often guarding HMs and evolution items. In any dungeons, I believe now, well, in the post-game actually, traps will start to appear, even in the Makuhita Dojo. You can use normal attacks, items, or IQ skills to detect them, but sometimes you're not going to be able to avoid them, and the varying types are chestnut traps, which just do random damage, explosion traps, which cause an explosion covering a 5x5 area, which even destroys walls, grimier traps, which turns a random food item in your inventory into grimy food, which I think even poisons you, Gust Trap, which sends a Pokemon flying until they hit a wall or foe. Mud Traps, which lower attack, special defense, or special defense by 1 point. Pitfall Traps, which drops a team down 1 floor. Not always a bad thing, but it also does damage. Poison Trap, which obviously inflicts a poison status. Pokemon Trap, which turns any unclaimed items on the floor into hostile Pokemon. PP0 Traps, which drain all PP from a move. Very annoying. Seal Trap, which prevents use of a certain move when on a current floor. Also highly annoying. The Self-Destruct Trap, which is the explosion track, but weaker because it only covers a 3x3 area. The Slow Trap, which lowers speed by 1. The Slumber Trap, which puts a Pokemon to sleep. Extremely annoying. Spiked Tiles, which do damage. Spin Traps, which inflict confusion. Sticky Trap, which gums up items, rendering them completely unusable. Summon Traps, which call hostile Pokemon to you. And a Warp Trap, which teleports Pokemon elsewhere on the floor. That one can actually be useful depending on the situation, because it could teleport you to where the stairs are. And after story mode, you can also switch team leaders, so you can actually play as, say, Pat in this game. And because of that, though, due how the game ends, your partner will no longer be default in your team, so that's why that happens. Your main character or your partner will be immediately accessible from their friend area, though. And you can also, I should mention, you can actually give Pokemon gummies in their friend area, which is always useful. But to designate a Pokemon as the team leader, visit it at its friend area and ask it to join your team, then you have the option to make it a team leader. And you need to do this if you want to evolve certain Pokemon, which I'll get into momentarily. And you also have new items at the Kecleon shop and Kecleon wares. But probably one of the most notable things in the post-game is the Luminous Cave. which is in Wishcash Pond after the game, and you'll see a mysterious cave has appeared. You go in, and you find a giant gemstone that'll ask you if you want to evolve. Certain Pokemon obviously just evolve based on level, but some of them need certain things to happen to them, like certain items to be held. In fact, happiness evolutions need those items now, like Umbreon and Espeon. Others might just need to have their IQ skill raised, or an evolution item like a Firestone. I think Firestones are in this game. But if you're going to evolve a Pokemon, make sure you want to do it, because it can't be undone at all. And actually, Pokemon that only actually evolve when traded. If you picked up any HMs from the 10th floor of the Solar Cave, go back there with a key in hand, and you'll find where the locked door was that you found an HM behind, you will now find a link cable, which is what you need to evolve said trading Pokemon. Obviously, you'll have new areas open up, like the Waterfall Pond, Solar Cave, Fiery Field, Lightning Field, Northwind Field, Mount Faraway, and Western Cave, all very annoying areas. Stormy Sea, Buried Relic, Silver Trench, Meteor Cave, Dark Knight Relic, Desert Region, Unknown Relic, Northern Range, Pitfall Valley, Joyous Tower, Purity Forest, Grand Sea, Far Off Sea, Southern, Wyvern Hill, Earn Sky, Blue Plains, Wish Cave, Murky Cave, Howling Forest. All these, of course, having their own requirements, like needing certain HMs, getting new friend areas, completing random missions. You'll also have many new mazes at the Makuhita Dojo, which I have yet to complete. I might do that off-screen before I beat the game, actually. Certain grass mazes, electric mazes, fighting mazes, flying mazes, dark mazes, steel mazes, water mazes, poison mazes. Ooh, Pat leveled up. HP up by 2, attack by 1, defense by 1, special attack by 1, special defense by 1. Nah, it's not terrible, but it could have been better. Water mazes, poison mazes, bug mazes, rock mazes, normal mazes, fire mazes, ice mazes, ground mazes, psychic mazes, dragon mazes, ghost mazes. And then you'll also get team mazes, where you'll have like Team Shiftry, Team Constrictor, Team Hydro, and Team Rumblebrock. Which you might realize are like the teams that certain people were in earlier on, like, I'm trying to remember, Octillery, Blastoise, and Golem in specific, actually. Those are fun enough. You'll also have a few new outings you can go to, like the Solar Cave, which I mentioned earlier, which you'll find HMs in, but you need Dive to get into. And it's also a good dungeon to learn the do's and don'ts of the post-game overall. A lot more floors, a lot of traps, a lot of everything. And there's its own Pokemon thing for that, but yeah, I won't do that because we're not going to be entering there. You have things like Waterfall Pond, which you need the HM Waterfall to enter. And that place is annoying. But it's also home to certain... The Waterfall Pond in specific is home to 2 version-specific Pokemon. On floors 7 through 11 of that, you got Magikarp, and on 16 through 19, you get the much rarer Feebas. So keep out for that. And yeah, I'll go into the rest of that stuff within the next couple parts, like the legendary Pokemon that you can get. I hate the legendary Pokemon hunting in this game. I'm looking at you, Western Cave. Yeah, I don't like that place much at all. And now I actually just realized, now that I've done all that, I have to actually look at the footage and try to find other things to talk about. Crap! That's not good. I just wonder how fast I was talking through all that. Probably very fast, especially the mazes. And I leveled up again! HP up by 2, attack by 1, defense by 1, special attack by 1, special defense by 2. Not that bad. Could have been better, but not bad. More HP is always good. I'm trying to get my bearings on where I wasn't recording at this point. Let's see, the Electro was just thrown Wonder Tile stairs with a black gummy. Or is that the blue gummy? I can't tell. Some of the gummies are actually really hard to tell apart. And now I know where I am. In this area in specific, though, if you have a fire type like me, it can be both a good and bad thing, actually. Because a lot of Pokemon here have ground type moves, which is not good for me. It's fantastic for a water ground type like Pat, but not so much for me. Although Mud Sport does nothing, because that lowers the effectiveness of electric type attacks, which I have none of. And actually, I forget if you can even bring in other Pokemon from your freaking... what's it called? Friend areas into this dungeon. It's been a while. And my brightness lowered on my screen for some reason. Okay. Also, I should have mentioned this. I think this is the first dungeon that actually has, like, legitimate, as you go through the floor, environment changes. And I'm not just talking, like, after a peak in a post-peak and normal peak area. I mean, legitimate environment changes. Like, we had pure stone earlier, then we have more lava-y areas. And then we have an even more lava-y area. Also, this is the point in the game where you get really relieved if the stairs are in the same room as you when you start. Because otherwise it gets really annoying. I'm not looking forward to recording the next dungeon after this. I'm forgetting how long that actually is. I think it's like 34 floors? I don't remember. Somewhere over 30. That's gonna be fun to record! Not really. So, how are you guys doing? Oh, I remember this. Look at all the Grimers. Look at all the pieces of crap running towards me. Oh, that's what the annoying thing about Grimers. Their ability can cause Pokemon to get terrified and run away. And that can get annoying in the case of your partner, because then they'll start running away from you. So I've been playing a bit of Monster Hunter recently. That's a good game. Of course, I mean Ultimate 3 on my 3DS. You got those 3 playthroughs of Majora's Mask done. Beat my record in Resident Evil 4. My record in that beforehand was, I think 5 hours, 12 minutes, 32 seconds, and now it's like 4 hours, 20 minutes, and 52 seconds, I believe. Oh, and I hate this Onix. See, the thing I didn't notice earlier was that Pat got separated from me because I walked over a lava tile, which he obviously can't. So now this Onix is progressively killing him as I get closer. And he's being an idiot and not using a water gun, and he gets himself killed. Pat, I love you, but you're an idiot. Whether or not that was just directed at that Pat and the real life Pat, you decide. Probably both, knowing me. I'm kidding, I love Pat. So I came in here with like 5 reviver seeds and now I'm down to 3. That could be dangerous for the boss coming up, next part. Oh, thank God, final floor. Well, final floor of the normal area. Also, this may be one of the first dungeons where you're legitimately getting close to getting starving in this game, which is a dangerous, dangerous thing, as I've mentioned before. Also, a lot of TMs in this place. This was also the first game where I realized that TMs were discs, because that's what their sprite is. Beforehand, I didn't know what the heck they were supposed to be. And I remember for a fact the manga shows them as like some sort of belt. Yes, stairs, go. Whew, midway area. And with us getting here, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and next time on Let's Play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team, we're gonna continue through Magma Cavern and hopefully get to Groudon, beating him in the process. See you guys then.